What's good, guys? Welcome back to the first take. It's time for another review. We just got out of seeing The Mummy, not the Brendan Fraser early 2000s Mummy. This is the 2017 Tom Cruise led vehicle.
Why did you take me to watch this film, Eddie?
What? You're such a liar. You were such a liar. You were such an habitual liar.
I wanted to sit at home, relax, just chill out in front of the TV, and he said, "Let's go watch The Mummy, people. Let's go check it out." Tom Cruise's
first impressions. Come on.
Okay. Incredibly weak, over the top. These films just feel like recycled movies to me. That's how it felt.
It's fucking lit. Like, to think that they disregarded Dracula Unborn as not being a good enough start for their monster universe, which they're now calling the Dark Universe, nicking away from what DC wanted to call the Dark Universe for their Justice League Dark films. The fact that they figured Dracula wasn't good enough and that this was gonna be the one to start it, their big bombastic action blockbuster for the year.
But that's a really good point that you just made.
And Dracula Unborn, Untold was way better than this.
Yeah, it was.
Shit. Way better.
Way better, man.
Oh.
I just, you know what? I just can't get my head around where they screw up with this film. You know what?
The script is terrible. The story is cliche. They didn't think outside the box. They ticked every typical MacGuffin. Okay, we need an object they need to acquire that will bring life to the dead. Tick. We need a damsel in distress side female character. Tick. We need the annoying best friend who started off good.
That's what I mean.
Tick.
Don't they actually think about this stuff? Because all this stuff has just been, we've seen it again and again and again, and it would have been nice to see this film in a way that is unique, different to everything else that's presented itself for. I get it. There's got to be this kind of similar template, but it just was everything from, as you said, the script. It
started off fun. I didn't mind.
Did you like it?
The first 5 minutes, I didn't mind. You know, you see Tom Cruise as a regular guy. He's just like he's a Tomb Raider, basically.
Yeah.
Like you know, Lara Croft / Jackie Chan in Armor of God type.
Yeah.
You know, just looking for the treasures. You know, Nathan Fillion type vibe.
See,
and I didn't mind that, to be honest.
Yeah, look. They open it with Amanat, her story.
Oh, there's that part as well. That was fine.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I had it's just
it looked
come on,
plain.
really?
Yeah, it was cliched in itself, but you know, I could go along with it. Like whatever, it's just a throwaway backstory. But then yeah, they're in Iraq looking for, you know, antiquities, and there's the best friend Jake Johnson from Girl Next Door. He's pretty much playing the same thing we always see him doing, but you know, I didn't mind it. The chemistry between those two worked. They dug up.
I didn't even think it worked, Eddie, man.
It didn't.
They were trying to be funny. That scene where he's saying, "Are we gonna die? Let me think. We're gonna die." It just didn't work.
It was. Yeah, you're right. It was cliched, but it was cliched to a degree that I was willing to accept. You know, I wasn't expecting much going in, so I was willing to just kind of accept that level of, you know, typical humor. But then once they kind of uncovered the tomb, yeah, it just continues to just go down and down and just get dumber and dumber and dumber. And they tried to make this like a zombie movie as well.
Yeah,
like
zombie, yeah.
With a mummy movie. Fucking zombie. It's just a fucking clusterfuck, man.
It's interesting how they like introducing slowly. You can see it in certain scenes. In one particular scene, they're introducing all these characters. You see it? Yeah.
All the monsters. Yeah. We got the monster. We got the hand from the monster from the Black Lagoon, which they want to do a movie.
Saw Dracula there.
We saw a vampire skull. They showed something else in that tube, a long one, but I don't know what that was. I couldn't really identify what that was.
Yeah.
And then yeah, there's Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Let's do with that. The Jekyll and Hyde character, which they had Russell Crowe playing. Yeah. What did you think of that? Because we actually got to see. Spoiler reviews. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It does not matter.
If you have not seen it, it does not matter what we're going to spoil anything, because it means nothing. What did you? We actually got to see Hyde, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Him change.
So I think that was the best part of the film. because you got to see obviously his transformation for what, 5 minutes, a nice 5 minutes of film.
Bit weak though. Tom Cruise got to hang with him too easily when they were fighting, I reckon.
Yeah, but he was playing with him because he didn't really, because he's saying to him that he wants him to kind of join him as well at the same time. So he's not going to beat him up completely. He just wants to convince him, hey, look, I'm your buddy. But I like the dialogue that they were having, where he was kind of trying to convince him that, hey, join the dark side.
I like the voice that he was using, the sort of common Courtney, sort of
Old
East
English,
London. Sort of, I didn't mind that. Because at first I was hoping it was going to be more of a hulking Mr. Hyde. But I didn't mind what they did with that. But do I want to see a whole film of that?
No.
It doesn't really interest me. And there's also news earlier this week that they've added to this universe Phantom of the Opera. Huh? The guy that hides in the opera house with the mask. That's going to be a monster now. They're going to try and make him some sort of supernatural being. And they've added Hunchback of Notre Dame as well.
Well, they could add in as many characters as they want, all right? Because it'll be interesting to see where they go from this point onwards. Because I expect them to be... They're kind of maybe happy about maybe what they've got on their hands, maybe.
Nah.
You don't reckon?
Nah.
But
the reviews have been garbage. There hasn't been one good one.
All right, okay. So the reviews have been bad. So now it's interesting for us to sit back and see what Universal actually do. Whether they look at this and say, all right, we'll give another film a run and see what we get out of this, or shall we just stop this? Obviously, they're not going to stop it. They've invested so much into this, but I cannot believe, guys, I really cannot believe how bad this film was. You know, like how you walk out of a cinema and you think to yourself, okay, you know what? Hey, this wasn't all that great, but you know what? I could go with this. I could accept this. This is, you know, fair enough.
Fast and the Furious type films.
But when Fast and the Furious was good. But I could go with this. I could roll with this. Take Dracula, for example, all right? That's a good one. We watched it, we saw it, and we thought, you know what? It's not great, but it's not a bad film. I would like to see a continuation from this point onwards.
Most people tear that film apart, but it was like entertaining to a degree. Like, we kind of just were able to have fun with that. Dracula Untold. Way better than this. So that's why it's just so hilarious that they think that they just need to disregard that film in favor of this to be the start. And it makes sense now about the news that we heard last week about them cutting the budgets for the next lot of films, that they want to make them cheaper. Because they probably knew that they spent way too much money on this and it was not good enough, and they're not going to get that money back. And to think Mo was confused that this was getting ripped apart and wasn't going to be projected to be good. Yeah, because it's shit.
It's honestly, I've just pushed out a tweet which is run as fast away from this film as you... Was that put down? Run as, from this film as fast as you can. Just like, run!
They kept throwing things in to remind you of the old Brendan Fraser movie from the early 2000s, which was way better. Those first two Mummy movies with Rachel Weisz as well. They even had the Book of the Dead. You see when they're in that library, and I think
it's like when she worked with it.
It's the actual same Book of the Dead from that film. And it's like, so what are they trying to say, that they're connected? No way. But those films were so much more fun. They were like legitimate adventure movies. From start to finish, those films were incredibly enjoyable. Yeah, and a fun ride. Third one wasn't great, but the first two. Brendan Fraser was really entertaining all the way through it. Yeah. I'm having a difficult time. No, I had a really difficult time. Cruise tried to be funny. He tried to be extremely funny, but I just didn't feel it worked. It's just him. I'm not gonna go on the anti-Cruise rant or anything, but it's just, you just see Cruise in a film and it's just him. It's Tom Cruise. You don't really see a character. Actually, it's just him. Yeah. He always looks the same. He always sounds the same. It's just him. And that's. What did you think of what's her name? The character that plays Amina. What? Sofia Boutella, I think her name is. Yeah, for what she had to work with, I thought she did fine, because there wasn't really a whole lot for her to do, and she's not really an actress. She was a dancer who just kind of started doing acting work. But yeah, I didn't really. My complaint with this movie wasn't her. She was fine for me. Yeah, she was okay. There was some interesting moments with her. There's a scene where she's having she's having a conversation with that blonde chick, where she's tied up. She was pretty convincing. She was pretty kind of menacing, kind of scary at times, but it just... She had a few moments where there was a little we seemed a little more empathetic to her wanting to find her love, and she kind of looked like she was worried and scared. But
see, although she was trying to manipulate him, but at the same time, it really did feel like that. You know what? I actually was kind of rooting for her.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's the thing.
Because everyone else was so shit.
Yeah, everybody else was. I was rooting for the bad guy. That says a lot about this movie when you're rooting for the character that's supposed to die. Well, in this case, it's already dead, but like, you know.
How many stars do you give this, man?
So I'll give it 2 stars, and that's kind of being generous.
Out of 5, yeah.
Yeah. 2. I won't budge. Not even 2.5. Just stay with 2 stars.
Solid 2. It's all it deserves. It ain't worth watching. You know, the reviews were kind, in my opinion. None of the reviews were good, but they were relatively kind compared to what I feel this movie ended up being. Yeah, really bad.
All right.
God. Ugh.
The way they introduce at the beginning, the dark universe, as it turns around,
even tried to make its own little stamp. You know, I guess they figured Marvel has its little flickering comic book pages, and DC's got its new thing where it shows all the different, you know, DC heroes kind of swinging. The cameras flow through little CG versions of them, and I guess they figured they need their own stamp so that people could see and identify this series of movies. And even that was kind of shit.
Yeah.
People actually giggled in the cinema when they saw that Dark Universe sign, and people decided to be like giggling to themselves. Like,
yeah. Oh boy. To fight a monster. Was the line? You
need a monster to fight a monster, or become a monster to fight a monster. That's cliched shit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. So what are they doing over there, man?
You know, here's a question. I know we're going on a bit, right? But what would you have actually liked? Because what we saw, we didn't get what we wanted. What would you have preferred? What did you want from this film?
I wanted it to be a good adventure movie like the Brendan Fraser ones, but in modern times. That's what I wanted. You know, I was hoping Tom Cruise being in it would add a certain level of quality. That guess didn't see the case because the script was terrible, so they needed a better script, a more original script. It was too. I like the idea that they tried to kind of weave in Crusades and Crusade Knights into the sort of story of, you know, the ancient Egypt. They found the tomb and found some of the artifacts. And I thought, because I like history, I like films that dig into sort of historical myths and various things. But they just approached it in just such a lazy way.
Even there's a bit at the end where, hey guys, it's a spoiler, so turn away now if you're going to watch this film. But in the end, he stabs himself, right, to become like to become a god, right?
Set.
So the god of death, right? So he stabs himself. The god of life, isn't it?
No, death. Set.
All right, okay.
The underworld. That's just dumb because he's supposed to transform into Set, but he's still himself. So what? He's so powerful that he can withstand the god.
Yeah. So he's half still human and he's half god, and he's trying to suppress that. She's like turning around and saying, "Oh, you saved my life. You saved my life. Thank you so much."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't come close to me. Do not come close, because I don't know what I am." Oh my god! And then he brought his friend back to life, back how they started the adventure.
Yeah, like we don't know. I fucking care. The direction was lazy. Don't even remember the director's name. I can't remember to look it up. It's not really worth it. It wasn't good enough. See, even if it was directed in a cool, original way, it still would have been bad, but at least you could have had that visual aspect of cool scenes and cool actions. There wasn't even that.
Yeah.
The end, like, there wasn't even really an end action scene. It was just,
you know,
he grabs her, throws up against the wall, and kisses her and turns her into a husk.
You know what they would have been better off doing, right? They would be better off just completely not releasing this film and bringing back the old Brendan Fraser one and call that. Like, start with that.
Yeah, start with that one.
That's it. That's what they needed to do. Digitally remaster it, you know, added a few more effects or whatever, bring it back, throw a 3D like tint on it. That's it.
Re-release in cinemas.
Yes.
Chapter 1.
I guarantee you that will probably make more money than this.
You guys gonna watch this? Were you optimistic, or have you seen it and do you agree or even disagree? If you legitimately love this film, I want to hear what it is you loved about this. Please write comments down below. You like the video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Check out our podcast, Talking at the Movies, link down below. So Salem, I'm Eddie.